Okay. Fourth time's the charm, I suppose. Let's adjust you a bit. There we go. Fourth time's the charm, I suppose. But hey guys, it's Taylor. Life has been a little crazy because I've started going back to work because I'm home. And the reason I'm home is because my college closed for the semester and all of our courses are online now, so that's fun. Basically, that's what's going on in my life. I have not finished. I am nowhere near completing. Ripley, if you knock my camera down again, I'm going to kick you out of my room. Can you move you a little bit? Okay. Sorry. I have not finished my March TBR, and I'm not going to. I'm thinking I'm just going to take the L, and I'm not even going to punish myself, because there's no easy way to punish myself next month, because I'm going to do the Magical Readathon for 2020, the Owls portion of the Magical Readathon, and I'm not going to leave it up to chance. I'm just going to do it, so there's that. So you can choose a career, and the career I chose is librarian, because I'm a nerd. And so for the Owls, you have to do Ancient Runes, Arithmancy, Defense Against the Dark Arts, History of Magic, and Transfiguration. Okay. So I think you only have to choose one book per prompt for this. So I'm only choosing one. If I'm wrong, please correct me, but I have not seen anything, at least this year, that says you have to read more than one book. I thought, like, the first year she ever did it, you had to read, like, 3 per prompt, but I don't know. For the newts, you need an O in Ancient Runes, an E in Defense Against the Dark Arts, and an E in History of Magic. So, I'm not worried about those. However, there's also these little side trainings you can do, and I chose to do an Omegas training. So, I need an Arithmancy, another Arithmancy, a Potions, and Transfiguration. Okay, so let's tell you what prompts they are and what I have picked. So for Ancient Runes, I need a heart on the cover. For Arithmancies, I need to read something outside of my favorite genre. Defense Against the Dark Arts, a book set at the sea or coast. History of Magic, book featuring witches or wizards / wizards. And Transfiguration, book or series features a shapeshifter. The shapeshifter one was so hard, and so was Ancient Runes. I have actually not picked a book for Ancient Runes yet. I have only found 2 that I currently have with me, including ebooks and all of that. Actually, I haven't checked my audiobooks. But I'm not going to do that right now. And they are both rereads. Hold on. Okay, so they're both rereads. So I actually don't have a book I have not read that I can find that has a heart on the cover or in the title. So the 2 that I have is The Beast's Heart by Lefe Shallcross, which is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. And it's really good. I loved it. I think I gave it 5 stars. I'm pretty sure I gave this one 5 stars. And I'm horrible at this. So this is one of the books. It is an option. I only have 2. And then the other one is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. And so I'm not sure it says the much loved bestseller by Rainbow Rowell, but this has a little heart here. I'm not really counting that heart. However, up here in like the little thought box, there are hearts surrounding like these 2 characters. So there is also the possibility of picking up this one. I'm not really sure which one to pick up. I'm kind of leaning to The Beast's Heart by Leaf Shallcross. simply because I think I like this one better. And I just just finished As Old as Time a couple weeks ago, or maybe a week ago. I'm saying a lot. I just finished that one, and so I'm kind of in the Beauty and the Beast kind of mood. Also, this is a fantasy, and I love fantasy more than I love contemporaries, even though there's like little side bits of fantasy in here, particularly when you're reading her fan fiction. There's that. So I think I'm going with this one for Ancient Runes. So arithmancy is read something outside of your comfort zone. Now I do have a lot of options for that. However, considering I haven't finished, and I'm probably not going to finish by the end of the month, I'm thinking If You Tell by Greg Olson. It is a very dark book, and it's definitely a lot more hard-hitting than I normally read. This book follows these three sisters, Nikki, Sammy, and Tori, and how they grew up, and their mom's like this psychotic murderer, and she's like very, very abusive, and it's sad. Like, I think the only reason I haven't cried because of this book is because of how much I am in shock about it. So there is that. That is the one I'm going for that. For my owls, I haven't talked about my animagus training yet. Defense Against the Dark Arts, a book set at the coast or at the sea or coast. I have this book called The Cursed Prince on my Kindle app, and I do want to start reading more of those. And let me get to my Kindle because I forgot who wrote it. Jade Carrion. So I'm going to be reading on my phone The Cursed Prince, Jade Carrion. And I don't know much about this. I know there's like this girl who knows a lot about like ancient civilizations, I think. And she somehow gets caught up in like Atlantis stuff, and then like the prince or king of Atlantis gives her like this magic ability or this magic token or artifact or something, and then she ends up really magical. I don't know much about what it's about. However, it is the book that I chose. So there's that. History of Magic is a book featuring witches and wizards, and I chose another book from my Kindle app for that one as well, and that is, and I'll have to go find it because I did not download it, Harley Merlin and the Secret Coven by Bella Bella Forrest. Apparently I can get audio download. I must have bought this on Audible too. But I do have Harley Merlin, and so I chose to read that one as well. I hear it's a grown-up Harry Potter, so we'll see. Then, Transfiguration, book/series featuring shapeshifters. This one is very hard. I had to do a lot of Googling for this one. And for that one, I have chosen The Once and Future King by T.H. White. So obviously this is a library book. I do need to have it finished, I think, by May. No, June. I have to have this finished by June something. And I have started this previously, and I am on page 52. And I have not finished it yet. So I do really, really want to finish this one. I was super excited about getting it and then did not finish it. So now we're back to the problem of arithmancy. Read something outside of your favorite genre. And there are so many books outside of my favorite genre that I own, so I do need to get to them. For example, I do want to finish She Lies in Wait by Guy Lodge. This is a mystery thriller, and honestly, these are not necessarily my favorite. My favorite genre is, stop knocking stuff over. My favorite genre is, in fact, fantasy, so this one definitely gets out of that, and I do really want to finish it. It's kind of sad I have not. Another book that's kind of outside of my comfort zone is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. And I do have a different copy of this, and it's the one without the illustrations. And I have read it, so I think this one would be considered cheating because I know I like it. But I do want to read the copy with the illustrations because I hear it makes the reading experience so much better. So I do want to reread this. However, it is outside of my comfort zone. It's kind of a horror-ish story. There's that. Another book that's outside of my comfort zone would be The Legends of Skywalker, and this is like the manga, and I don't know if you could, I don't know, it's not written like a manga, because it's not, because as I can understand it, it's written in, like, it's read like how Americans read them, but this is kind of outside of my comfort zone because it's a manga or a graphic novel. And while I do occasionally read these, not out of my comfort zone, this is not my favorite genre. This is sci-fi, so that is, I guess that's too close to my favorite genre to count though. So this one is Are You Listening by Tilly Walden, and I believe this is like a contemporary. I might be wrong. It might be a magic realism, which is kind of fantasy, so it would kind of be my favorite, but this one, I don't know much. I think it's like these two kids run away, but they find a cat. So I'm kind of interested in this one. I think I'm going to go with Are You Listening by Tilly Walden for that. Actually, I might just read that today. Okay, so I think officially I'm going to go with She Lies in Wait by Guy Fawkes, because I do need to finish this one. Because I'm afraid I'm pretty sure I'm just going to like pick this one up and read it tonight. So there is that. So this one is officially going on that list. However, we also have Potions, book under 150 pages, and I am doing a reread of The Gentleman's Guide to Getting Lucky by Mackenzie Lee, because it's a super short book, and I did enjoy it, and I kind of, like, all the secondhand embarrassment and the tension, I just adored this book, and I do want to reread it. I'll probably reread this one today, too, but I will be rereading it in the month of April as well. And then Transfiguration. So I had to find another book where there was shapeshifting, and I was struggling. But based on Google, The Gilliland, Pawn of Prophecy by David Eddings has shapeshifting, or at least his books have shapeshifting. So I think this one has shapeshifting because it did say, because it was like listing the top 10 characters that can shapeshift, and at least a character in this series, if not this first book, can shapeshift, and it did say book or series. So I am going to be reading this one. So there are books that I want to read next month that just won't fit in I need to type that out. That I just did not fit in a prompt, partly because I don't want to force myself to read these. Some of them are pretty big. One of them I just don't know if they fit into any prompts, period. And there is that. So for example, Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow. I do want to finish this one next month, but I'm not going to put it on my TBR because it is hefty. But this is a book I do want to finish. Another book that I want to finish is The Fate of the Dwarves by Marcus Heights. I don't think putting this on my TBR is going to get it done. I've had it on my TBR several months in a row, and I have not finished it. So I do want to finish this one next month, hopefully towards the beginning of the month. However, I do need to start listening to this while I'm doing schoolwork. That would probably help. But there is that. A book I want to start next month that I just couldn't find a way to fit it in is Naomi Novik's Uprooted. I don't know if this has witches and wizards, so I couldn't fit it into the History of Magic prompt. I don't think it's set near the sea or coast, so I couldn't put it into Defense Against the Dark Arts. It sounds like it's fantasy, so it's not outside of my favorite genre. There's not a heart on the cover. And I could not find out for sure if it has shapeshifter. So I do want to read this. It's just not going to be over. These three, I'm not going to, like, fuss over finishing because I do have, like, several over here that I do need to finish. And, well, okay, let's take Fangirl off because I don't have to read that one. But I do have several over here and 2 physical books that I just don't know if I'll be able to finish, partly because, or 2 ebooks I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish, partly because I don't necessarily like reading ebooks. But there is that. So that's basically all I have to say for that month, or for this video. These are the books I want to read, plus 2 ebooks. The top 3, obviously, I'm not going to throw a huge fit about finishing, though.